Evil Dead without Ash Williams? I'll bet you the Book of the Dead that this movie won't be as good without its boom-sticking poster child. So I love spending the day in a giant piece of Toblerone as much as the next person. But what I don't like is when one of my friends is sick. Especially Evil Dead sick. Yeah, totally not dead. Jessica then goes full-on deadite, and I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the sponsor of today's video, drones. Her boyfriend jumps in after her, but then decides to quickly head back to shore. Jessica then rises up out of the lake. Pretty awesome title sequence, right? This is where things start to go wrong. One day earlier, a mom, Ellie, and her 3 kids are living in a high-rise apartment. Kids? In a fucking Evil Dead movie? One of the kids is woke as fuck, the other is a DJ, and the little girl likes to decapitate freaky looking dolls. Like she actually giggles whilst doing it. Ellie's sister Beth comes to visit and the kids are sent out to get pizza. Upon return, they park the car in the underground garage. None of these kids look old enough to drive. Suddenly an earthquake hits the area, but unfortunately the only casualties are the poor pizzas. The earthquake opens up a mysterious hole in the foundations. You see, the apartments used to be an old bank, but instead of ransacking the place for, cash, the little blonde kid ignores the Bruce Campbell cameo photo and instead takes some old vinyl and a scary looking book. What the hell's up with kids nowadays? Returning to the apartment, the kids reveal the fate of the poor pizza.
Oh, honey, I love you guys so much more than pizza.
You're just lying to yourself. Who the hell likes kids more than they do pizza? Dan tries to open the book and accidentally pricks his finger. His blood soaks into the book and causes it to open. And inside, they find cute drawings of puppies and kittens. No wait, it's demon doodles. Bridget freaks out, so Dan plays the vinyl instead. It's a recording of priests that have found one of the 3 volumes of the Book of the Dead. What sort of hipster bullshit is this? Why would priests even record this meeting and then duplicate and circulate it onto vinyl, which is not only expensive and inconvenient, but really only used for mass reproductions? The recording then goes on, of course, to chant the summoning passage of the book. Fair play to Dan though, because he tries in vain to stop the chant, but unfortunately the evil is too strong and summoned into the world, where it promptly goes about seeking its first victim. In an urban style parallel to the original's infamous tree rape scene, Ellie is attacked and held up by cables and wires from the elevator. It kinda cops out though, and we don't get to see any boobies. The building is plunged into darkness, and the kids have barely got any time to light a few Kandarian scented candles before Mom returns to show everyone a super quick and easy way to make scrambled eggs. She moves creepily towards them before throwing up chunky milk and then passes out. Probably a case of food poisoning. I mean, did you see those eggs? But you know the score. We've got ourselves a case of Kandarian demon possession.
Mommy's with the maggots now.
Oh, and she's also a Slipknot fan too, I guess. Ellie Deadite then attacks. Nice catch, Beth. She then launches herself at Bridget and tries to tattoo the Slipknot logo on her eyeball. But Dan saves her with a wrestling classic, a steel chair across the back. The neighbors arrive to see what all the noise is about, and it turns out to be the last thing that he sees. Ellie coughs the eye back up straight into this kid's mouth. Great, just what the movie needed. More kids. Luckily, Beth shuts the door on everyone and they barricade themselves in the apartment. She checks out the local entertainment through the spy hole and sees one of the kids attacked by Ellie Deadite. Gabriel pops up again only to die instantly, and the smug Ellie demon is then blasted by a shotgun-wielding neighbor, who's then instantly killed. Damn, this spy hole's more entertaining than fucking YouTube. The kids start to figure out that the book might be responsible for what's happening, so Dan shows it to Beth. But Ellie somehow tricks this little moron Cassie into opening the door, even though she's covered in blood and stood right next to a decapitated corpse. Luckily though, the catch is on and Beth manages to repel Ellie Deadite back outside. but they have more immediate problems when Bridget's Slipknot tattoo turns her into another Deadite, who has a lot to learn about the art of drinking wine. And just like Darth Vader should never say Padme,
Where is Padme?
no Kandarian demon should ever say the word tummy.
I don't like having things inside my tummy.
Bridget Deadite chases Dan into Cassie's bedroom, who impales her with, well, I don't know. Is that a sharp stick with a doll's head attached? Why is this in a child's room? I don't know who's more fucked up, the demons or little Cassie. After bagging and tagging Bridget, Beth decides to listen to Judas Priest.
I want to listen to that vinyl.
Whatever gets you through this nightmare, I guess. On the vinyl, Beth learns the fate of the priest who studied the Book of the Dead.
For the words I uttered have unleashed a demonic entity beyond my darkest nightmare.
Outside, Ellie Deadite spies her way back into the house by using the ventilation system. And inside, Bridget Deadite wins 0 points in the Halloween costume competition. I mean, Michael Myers did it better anyway. She flies towards Danny and sticks him right in the arm before dyeing his hair red. Beth, meanwhile, is still listening to the Judas Priests and discovers that not even dismembering the demons will stop them. Ellie Demon interrupts these questions though and launches Beth into the next room, where she finds a blood-soaked Dan lying on the floor. Cool hair, bro! Beth and Cassie head into the hallway where Beth grabs the neighbor's boomstick from the floor and blows Ellie's leg clean off. Ellie Deadite recovers and tries to trick young Cassie again, but this time she hasn't got a leg to stand on. The rest of the Deadites emerge with a chorus of the classic Deadite sing-along song, Dead by Dawn. Sing it with me. Dead by dawn, dead by dawn. Beth and Cassie quickly head to the elevator of doom, which immediately starts filling up with blood. The Deadites get a little hands-on and start performing a transformation ritual that turns them into a monster mash. They crash the party elevator that's now almost completely filled with blood. Watch that weight restriction. Now that's a blood elevator to rival The Shining. Beth and Cassie head towards Ellie's car, and it looks like their nightmare is over as the car starts perfectly. The gate starts to open, but the car gets stuck in a crack caused by the earthquake, and the spinning wheels start to smoke up the place, which is great for hiding any monsters that might be coming after you. The Deadite Monster Mash races towards the car, but finds it empty. Are they just hiding on the other side? Why didn't the Monster Mash just go through the car, or look around it? Beth heads up to the front of the car where Monster Mash appears, and they run and hide. At the back of the car? How is this thing not finding them? It was running faster than Joey Jordison can drum. And now it can't navigate around a fucking car? They both head towards the closing gate with Monster Mash in tow. Beth, who's been practicing her Indiana Jones role, makes it under. But Cassie just sort of lamely falls over and gets swept up in all sorts of arms and legs, as Beth tries furiously to break back into the garage. Monster Mash grabs a chainsaw stash, but is shot by Beth's boomstick.
Come get some.
Hey, that's Ash's line.
Come get some.
Unfazed, Monster Mash launches its chainsaw at Beth, who loses her footing and her boomstick. Monster Mash then climbs on top of a wood chipper at the back of the van, turns it on, and pulls Beth towards the whirling grinders. Cassie manages to turn the chipper off though. Wait, Monster Mash can't multitask? It's got like 4 heads, and more arms than Judas Priest have albums. Why can't it watch 2 things at once? Rather than going after Cassie or running towards Beth, Monster Mash sits quietly in front of the wood chipper, like in the actual tray where you feed shit into it. Cassie then obviously turns it back on, whilst Beth lunges forward with the chainsaw. The chipper grinds Monster Mash into a graveyard smash that sprayed all over the car park like red horse shit. Only Ellie Deadite remains now, but not for long, as Beth performs a vicious chainsaw lobotomy and boots her head into the chipper. The next morning we see Jessica heading to her car. Remember her from the intro? She's attacked by the Kandarian demon, which brings us full circle to the beginning of the movie. So I guess you could watch this thing in a continuous loop if you wanted to, for the rest of your life. Without Sam Raimi behind the camera and Bruce Campbell in front of it, it was always going to be hard to capture that Evil Dead spirit. And whilst I think it's a fairly decent horror movie, Evil Dead Rise just didn't feel like an Evil Dead movie to me. And in case you didn't catch my subtle subtext, I hated the fucking kids. You know another movie that's full of dumb kids?
I don't like having things inside my tummy, 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 tummy.